You remember last Monday when the interim attorney general that Trump had appointed refused to follow his orders, even though her lawyers admitted and she admitted that it was constitutional, that it was just a repeat of Obama's orders from 3 years previous, just expanded to 2 more countries? CNN said the Monday night massacre. Okay? And now you go to CNN, it's Donald Trump's most bone-chilling tweet. And I thought, man, I've got to see this. So I go to his most bone-chilling tweet, and he comes out and says, this so-called judge, let me find the exact quote here. The opinion of this so-called judge, which essentially takes law enforcement away from our country, is ridiculous, and it will be overruled. Now, in another tweet, he sat there and said that, man, this is, really chilling and a dangerous time when our country can't even have control of its borders. And this is very dangerous. And then they took that and said, oh, he's threatening the judge. They're acting like presidents never criticize federal judges when several presidents had federal judges arrested, like Abraham Lincoln. Now, I'm not saying he should do that. Those were judges organizing sedition against the, quote, republic. You can argue whether that was right or wrong, but it's 50 times what Trump's doing. But see, I'm cursed with being informed and knowing history. Presidents are constantly criticizing judges they don't agree with in much stronger terms. But it's like, dun, 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 his most chilling tweet. And he's like, this so-called judge, this is going to be overturned. You know why? In the very same front page of CNN, I'll show you the article in a minute, it says, oh, Obama is Trump's security blanket. He spent all these years criticizing Obama, but now he's actually using his executive orders and laws he got passed in 2013 to enforce this. So, see, it's a suspension of logic. Here's an article saying that it's tyranny, and then an article under it saying, oh, look, he's using Obama's laws. See, Obama's not bad. And the articles are right beside each other. This is what I'm talking about. It's the Monday night massacre. It's the, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting so much worse. What are we going to do? It's his most dangerous, shocking tweet. Total suspension of reality. There's a bunch of Muslim countries, and Trump tweeted this out as well, that are banning the same countries. Nobody lets Somalis in case unless they're completely insane. And the United States takes in 70+% of Somalis. Okay? I mean, Somalis have been killing each other for 1,000 years. It's a literal hellhole where women are sold on slave blocks. Nothing against Somalis. Some of them want to come here to have freedom, and that's great. But the ones that chop folks up with machetes, that's not the case. So think about this. Obama passes the law, puts it in place, but doesn't ever fully implement it. Trump does, and they act like it's hysterical that a sovereign nation could be able to even control its own borders. This is the essence of globalism. And then globalism gets the West to open up, bring in all these people, and then if you try to have any controls as they're organized into a political force against you, it's then declared that you're horrible, evil, and monstrous and must be destroyed. There's only 3 things the president's supposed to really do, and that is defend the borders and execute the laws that he's over when Congress passes it, and to deal with disputes, and to basically defend the nation, and to break vetoes, to break ties in the Congress. But the globalists have built up the presidency to transfer power so that they can bypass the separation of powers. So I also love CNN. There's so much irony. I go there because of the irony. And it has this headline, Trump just ran into the separation of powers. How you liking the Constitution there, bud? No, the TPP just ran into the separation of powers. 10 years in secret negotiation, transferring our sovereignty to private corporations, a total corporate takeover, open world government by the Davos/Bilderberg Group. And all of that's been exposed. All that's out in the open. You know what else just ran into separation of powers? The globalists just thinking they can ignore the laws of this country and even outside of law, order the southern border completely open and let people in with tuberculosis and even leprosy and then not even treat them. So let me show you the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty, created by a Freemason artist, obviously in France. This one's more feminine, but the original is a man in drag. It is a asexual creature. and is actually something that other countries rejected. They wanted to put it in the Nile, but the Muslims wouldn't take it. So you might want to look at that. And it's a very ominous Jacobin symbol of basically the attempt to take over the new Atlantis. You see, there's the goddess Columbia, ladies and gentlemen. That, by the way, that's a woman. Okay, this is a French counterfeit of the Jacobin Illuminati. I mean, this is mainline history, by the way. I mean, you have to read 4 or 5 pages into it, but it's there. Okay, so that's why the hands are so big, the feet are so big. Now that's a female version. Okay, so they say, send us your tired, send us all this other stuff. No, don't send us a bunch of people to be organized by multinational corporations into a paramilitary political force to run around burning things down if you're not given free goodies. That's all this is. That's what globalism is. And it's the conquering of the nation state. And from Brexit to the United States to all over the world, people are pulling out of world government. And we're, through our state government, taking our country back. That's why the UN is directly reaching out to city governments now under municipalization, try to bypass the state governments. But city governments have no power except under their state charters through the counties and then down to the cities. The cities are the weakest political union in the country. But they've got it ass backwards where the cities are now absorbing the counties and they're getting rid of sheriffs, and it's a disaster. Right here in Travis County, we have a sheriff that does not follow law. She says, I don't care if you're DWI, I don't care if you're an arsonist, we're not deporting you. Whoa. I mean, go read her quotes, man. This is sedition. Okay? So the treason is going on at absolutely every level. And again, I'm cursed with knowledge, with actually knowing the facts about all this. And seeing what's going on. Trump didn't just come out with these tweets and say, this is ridiculous, this will be overturned, this so-called judge appointed again by George W. Bush, who wants open borders and who was a globalist, who signed the globalist programs, like the North American Union, in stealth, in secret. Took years to even get the agreement out from Waco, Texas. Remember all that with Vicente Fox and Paul Martin? Oh, I guess a lot of new viewers that are leftists that laugh at me. You don't remember all those names or all those real people or all those real documents. You don't work 18 hours a day actually being a real constitutionalist liberal. No. You just run around fake intellectuals telling people how smart you are all day. But let me just show you some of the incredible contradictions here. Okay? Show you some of the incredible contradictions from CNN. I understand why it keeps pulling out of CNN. Oh, here it is. Trump just got checked and malleged. Ooh. Oh, kind of like his attorney general that refused to follow his order, and then he kicked her out. This is the executive branch, okay? And the executive is over the damn borders. And we have laws from Congress saying we can control who comes in, like unvetted Somalis and people from Sudan that other Muslim countries won't even take. Saudi Arabia didn't take one refugee because they were unvetted from a war-torn country, and a bunch of Islamists around the world invaded there to take it over and get free land. That's what the jihadis do. The Saudi Arabians have invaded Syria 3 times the last 100 years. Look at this. Trump just got checked and balanced. Oh, suspension of travel ban gives president his first exposure to limits of his power. Oh, you mean some judge overstepped his power? Trump rips federal judge. Schumer, oh, we're going to block you. Here's what could happen next. Opinion, Trump is focused on the wrong threat. Now, here's the key. How Trump is using Obama as a security blanket. Because Trump is rightfully saying, I'm using his law. He did 4 countries. I'm doing 6. He bombed 4 of the 6. I haven't even done that. You're not vetting him. They've got all these fake passports. This has come out. This has been reported. And you're supposedly bad if you're then informed and you know about that. Okay? So this is an incredible time to be alive, folks. And I'm just going to narrate some of this here as we see this beautiful granite Capitol. Oh, yeah, the microphone. Well, here, let's start walking back, dude.
Yeah, I can move it.
No, it's all right. Let's just start walking back. It's just crazy. And there's also so many.
People were like...
Well, here, we can just do it over here if you're having trouble following me.
No, I can follow you.
No, that's all right. I'm just going to say this in closing. People get fooled by the system and by the corporate media, and then they think they know what they're doing. They think they understand what's happening when they're not informed. I'm going to explain something very, very slowly, because, listen, I know our general listeners are more informed than I am, and you know this. I'm talking to the people that do count. Just because they're dumbed down and fooled, still we have to reach out to them and hopefully, get them where they're not in a totally con position. I'm sure the audio's fine, dude.
I'm just going to take it off, and then if I walk.
Oh, cool.
Now we can go.
All right. Here, what I'm getting at here is there are facts and they're stubborn things. And the truth is there's a corporate world government being formed, and the domesticated, spoiled, rotten populations of the West have no idea what they're even dealing with or what the operating system of that technocracy is and what the world government controllers say they're going to do. And you've been so busy denying any of this exists because the mainstream media make jokes out of it that now, even though it's being openly announced, you're now supporting it and your own enslavement because that's what you're told is the trendy, cool thing to do. This is the nature of becoming a servile population. And almost every nation in the world has lost almost all its sovereignty. And that's why with Brexit, the UK, all of it, people are pulling out of this global system because under this global system, you don't make the decisions, you don't run your life. Cold-blooded, removed multinationals do. And again, this is a form of reverse colonization. The people being used for the reverse colonization are not bad people. But in this neo-colonialism, the globalists are exploiting the third world, but also then using those exploited masses to then flood the West as political and economic cannon fodder. Then the big banks administer, like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, the EBT cards, the whole system, the social engineering, and create a giant client population that they fully control. A client population with no identity other than worshiping the state and worshiping the latest MSNBC proclamation. And then they can actually sit there and talk about how Trump is a fascist and like Hitler in mainstream news and needs to be overthrown because he wanted to defend our borders at a milquetoast level, not even that of Canada. Did you know in Canada, if you're a libertarian or a right-winger from anywhere in the world, they will not let you in, or they will grab you, even if you're not a German citizen, and fly you to Germany to be held for basically the rest of your life in solitary confinement. Oh yeah, but it's liberal though. Oh, you're a right winger who writes. We're gonna put you in. We're gonna send you to Germany. We're liberal, but see, they'll sit there and let the jihadis in. I've sat there flying into Canada when they're just letting anybody in with their passports, not even looking, just flooding. But if you're white, you're gonna get screamed at. You're gonna get chewed out by white people, because again, they are organizing a permanent underclass of, quote, minorities who will form a majority, but not of one racial or ethnic or regional group. It's the broken coalition strategy or balkanization, divide and conquer. And I know I hammer on this incessantly, okay? I understand that. But the reason I do is this is really what they're doing to you, okay? And so I'm not against huge immigrant populations coming in of, folks that want to work and people that want to adopt Americana and the true melting pot. But that social contract that the globalists sold people in the last 60 years, that globalism is to help the third world and help us here as well, it's a total fraud. Look how they're weaponizing all these people. Everywhere you go, just white people are being beaten up by other white people screaming, F you white people, bloodying women. And then Robert Wright goes on, the garden gnome, goes on CNN and says, oh, it was right wingers, Trump people rioted. And Milo had a flamethrower when it was Milo having firebombs thrown at him. I mean, they are practicing evil. They're practicing lies. They're practicing getting their minions, their cohorts, to fully commit to just believe anything they say. This is cult programming. Where O'Brien's torturing Winston in 1984. I mean, George Orwell had been involved in torture. He'd been the secret police in India. He'd been a communist. He'd been in OSS. So he knew all this. So that was an allegory of real stuff he was involved in and knew about. And he goes, Winston, I don't want you to just believe whatever I say. I don't want you to have a mind. When I say what is 2 + 2, I want you to see 4, 6, 8, 20, 100. If I tell you gravity is suspended, I want you to truly believe gravity is suspended at the same time knowing it's not, but believe both. So when you think, man, their propaganda is really dumbed down, saying he got rid of Martin Luther King's bust in the White House, or, there was no crowds there and nobody was there, and show you a video from when the gates first opened, and then say Trump's a liar. They're trying to invert reality and get you to accept it, and basically garbage in, garbage out. Cannot compute, fry your brain, fry your logic systems. Like kids in school are taught how to have chips on their shoulders. They're taught 50 different sexual genders. It's just pedophilia in the schools. It's how you suck the life force out of kids. Is you steal their innocence, you totally brainwash them, and if you ask why this system's so evil, at the top, it's a motley crew of mercenaries, exploiters, control freaks, But the main group is pedophiles, folks. And that's a fact. And it comes out throughout history. It keeps coming out over and over again, as everybody sees. They try to create fake stories, side issues, and then discredit those straw men. But everybody knows about the Catholic Church. Everybody knows they tried to cover that up and said it was a conspiracy theory too. And now, Podesta's best buddy, Hastert's in prison, for what was he doing? And then, of course, we know about all the rest of the stuff at Penn State, and we know about Weiner. We told you before it was in the news that he was being investigated for child porn 3 months ago. We had NYPD sources on, and you say it's there. And what were they going to do with all that coming out in New York? They had ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, all of them go, New York Times, Washington Post, look at this pizza place, because somebody on 4chan mentioned it. That's where we think it's all run out of. And I said, I don't know, but the place does look weird. It has some weird art. David Brock's boyfriend, Podesta, goes there. But no, it's not going on in a pizza place. Oh, Alex, you're covering up the Pizzagate. It wasn't Pizzagate. It's Pedophile-gate. And this huge, larger system, we know. The last pope had to step down because of pedophilia blackmail against the church. And the new pope is the operative, openly saying we must have world government. I mean, this is serious crap, folks. You take a look at Hillary Clinton. I'll call you right back in. I'll call you right back in 1 minute. Okay, thank you. You take a look at George Soros. You take a look at these people. George Soros' son. You look at hundreds of photos of them. I've done it. They radiate like chill in my gut. I mean, I have nightmares about them. I'll be honest, because I can see them, man, and they are just. And these are just the upper echelon minions of the really dark forces behind them. Everybody knows, folks, in their gut, and you can see it in the facts, and you can see that Trump's for real. He's 100% real, because he's delivering on everything that they hate. He's stopping their agenda. He's bringing back national sovereignty. He's trying to get loans to small businesses. He's trying to bring back Glass-Steagall. All the so-called real liberals should be falling down in joy for this. Again, Infowars.com/show. I'll be on the radio tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. with the big broadcast. Weekday program, of course, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can go subscribe to our free podcast and find all the links and videos and things at Infowars.com/show. And just please keep spreading those links, because I'm risking everything, as you know. But you are too. We're all on the firing line here. We're going to lose everything if we don't stand up. It's not, if people say, oh, hide, Alex, you'll be all right, or you've done enough. No, we've got to be all in. That's what gives us security. That's what gives us a free, open society. We've laid down and let evil take over the world, and it's really gotten arrogant. Now it's trying to overthrow common sense and reality. But the forces of reality are coming back, and I don't care what color you are, or what gender you are, or what your sexual preference is, or where you come from in the world. If you love liberty and freedom, you're welcome. And I love you. I care about you. But when you come from a political cult like radical, mainline, Orthodox Islam, Wahhabism that's taken over the world, you're a clear and present danger. You can't go to those countries, folks. If you're even a Muslim, they kill you a lot of the time. You understand that? We're now seeing videos every day of feminists chanting Allah Akbar and saying they want to be under sexual slavery and that they love Islam because they hate America and true loving male masculinity so much. They are so into a culture of death and their abortions. And I'm not saying you're bad if you had an abortion. The point is the women that love it and say, I got one just to have one, all that Gloria Steinem stuff. This is satanic. And the abortuaries that comes out where the head doctors are really Satanists. And they've been caught up in Texas, Kansas, all over. I mean, this is serious crap, folks. And remember, the communist Chinese that kill tens of thousands of dissidents a year and sell their organs, Buddhists that got caught doing yoga in their houses are harvested. People are like, oh, big deal, shut up, white male. It's like, oh, you don't like Chinese. See, everything's coded word. No, I'm saying save Chinese. Save Chinese Christians and Buddhists. Save them. Save them. Infowars.com/show is the link. Spread that link. Share it with everybody. And I think this will be my last transmission of the day, but there'll be more tomorrow on the show. So if you keep spreading the word, we've got so many listeners, so many viewers. If you keep reaching out to other people, if you start your own podcast, your own shows, whatever you do, it's going to change the world. We're already changing it. Globalism as a tide is being turned. Rob, you want to add anything? Go ahead.
Well, just coming out here, and like, I think you're providing a great example to people. Every day, coming up with something to talk about. That's what we need to do, because every day, the other side, the mainstream media
just their talking
are
points.
trying to come out with talking points. And on the weekends when they really try to strike, because they go, oh, not a lot, everybody's having their weekend, they're enjoying their time. So this really is the time to get out. The weekend is the great time to get stuff out. Exactly. Because the stories that come out Sunday, there'll probably be some big story that comes out in the Super Bowl that they're going to try to, that's something good Trump did that they'll try to bury with Super Bowl madness or whatever. So this is the time that you have to get active. Don't just get a phone and start talking into it. That's all we're using is a phone right here, talking into it, and it's going out over the web. Your ideas are what's going to wake people up. And seriously, if you wear a Trump hat or a Trump shirt, watch your back around here, especially at some of these events, because people will attack you. We've seen it time and time again. They are attacking people who aren't even provoking them. They're just trying to go to an event. So really, everybody needs to watch their back, travel in numbers, and be prepared to defend yourself, because these Antifa people have suddenly come out of the woodwork. They have nice flags. They all have matching leather jackets. Somebody's funding them. We know it's Soros, and these are the people that are coming after us.
All 50 groups funding the Women's March were funded by Soros.
Exactly.
It's called AstroTurf.
Yeah. So they make it look like there's no money behind it. It's grassroots. These are the people coming together, and it's not what's happening. These people are getting paid. The leaders are, and of course they can find underlings to follow them and do whatever they want to do, and find people who want to break stuff and be little baby terrorists. Of course they're going to find that. We've got baby commies running around here.
Gosh, Trump said this judge was outside his bounds and this ruling will be overturned.
Right.
Every time you hear about a lawsuit or a court ruling, somebody says, "Oh, we'll overturn this." Oh my God, it's dictatorship. He wants to overturn it like America, hoping the public's dumb and doesn't know what this ruling will be overturned. That's what it's called. God, I'm sick of the ignorance.
And the thing with Obama, people are so surprised that Trump's doing so much, is because Obama didn't do anything. He just sat around, waited for him to pass his lame health care bill.
But he did get these laws passed. He just didn't enforce it.
Right. But plus, he didn't work at the pace that Trump's working. He caught into the presidency and thought he was going to play basketball and hang out and be a celebrity.
But they can't.
And that's not what the job is.
They can't have it. They can't have it both ways. We're on the same page. Trump's horrible. He's overstepped his bounds. He's in big trouble. When all the real experts go, this is freaking the law. It's standard. Travel bans all the time when a place is not being vetted. And then below it, oh, look, he's using Obama's law. Oh, look, Obama's good. See? All right, Infowars.com/show. Please keep spreading that link. We're in a total information war. I don't want to lose. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Rob, for coming out today. Now get back to your family, my friend.
All right.
Infowars.com, folks. They don't want people to see that site.